Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're going to have a look at value and what this is. So oftentimes when we're starting out and we want to start a business, we go and we speak to a few entrepreneurs that we know and we ask them, hey man, how can I get paid, in the marketplace? And they go and say to us, okay, fine, in order to get paid, you need to go and you need to provide value. What a vague answer, right? So what is value? Most people, and we hear this term, all the time. You go on YouTube and you hear people all the time, you get paid in the direct proportion to the value that you bring to the marketplace. Okay, that's great. Thank you for that answer. But what is value? How do we define value? Well, in order to define value, we need to first identify who we can provide value to, right? Because by definition, if we're providing value, we need to be providing that to someone, right? In exchange for something. So the people that we provide this value to is called our niche. Okay, so we have a niche, okay, or a group of people who we identify, okay, based on our preferences, right? We select something that we like or that we find enjoyable. This can be golf, real estate, it can be makeup, it can be like working out, like gym. You could teach someone how to be a better runner. You could be a better cook, how to be a better cook or whatever, right? The possibilities are endless, right? Really, where you start is you start with what it is that you love doing. And if you want to know, then you can look at stuff like your YouTube search history, right? And you can see like what you usually search. And this will be an indication of what you really love or what you really like. And you can go out and you can ask your spouse and your friends and your parents and whoever, hey, what is the one thing that I can't shut up about? And they will generally point you in a direction. Then, trust me, when you have a desire for something or you really like doing something, you can find other people who like doing the same thing. And we call that your niche. Okay, it's a group of people who we are going to go out and we are going to service because we really like servicing these people. So when we identify that, the next thing we need to do is we need to go out and we go searching for a problem, okay, that this niche has. Okay, so we take our niche and we go looking for a problem. We kind of work backwards, right? We go looking for a problem, and when we have identified the problem, we can then come up with a solution, okay, to that problem. And we can provide it to our niche. And they're going to be extremely happy, right? We're going to go out and we're going to find a problem, and the problem, okay, because like we find the solution to that problem, and the solution really becomes our idea. This is how we do it in entrepreneurship, right? So entrepreneurs don't just stand in the shower and get struck by lightning and get a magical idea float into their head from the ether, and it's like, okay, fine, this is what we're going to do, this is the solution we're going to provide to our niche. That's not how it works, right? It only happens like that in fairy tales. Really, what we're doing here is we've got our niche, and we go and we speak to them and we identify a problem that is really painful for them, and we start looking for a solution to that problem, and that solution then becomes our idea. Okay, so we kind of working backwards because we understand things in opposites, right? So problem, and then we get the solution, which is the antithesis of that, right? And that solution then becomes our idea. And really, the merger of the problem and the solution is actually what we call value. Okay, so that is the merger of our problem and our solution. And the bigger the problem and the better the solution, the more value we bring, right? This is why people say you get paid in proportion to the value that you bring to the marketplace. So if you're solving a really, really big problem and you're the best at solving that problem, you're bringing a lot of value. And when you bring a lot of value to the marketplace, right, and the best, the marketplace doesn't lie to you. It's the best laboratory for testing things. The marketplace never lies. And when you bring value to the marketplace, you get what we call money, right? And really, this entire equation over here, this entire thing over here is what we call a business. Okay, so a business is really a merger of all of these things. So we can see in order to really understand value, okay, we have to work kind of backwards. So people say, okay, you need to go provide value. Okay, so we know the first half of the equation, right? We know this much. We get paid for the value we bring. Okay, but what is value? Okay, well, value, what would I think is valuable? Well, value to me is a solution to or a product, right? It's either a solution to a problem I'm having or a product that can solve something, or I can buy something that really makes me a better version of myself. And if I have a solution that I need, it must mean I have a problem, right? And that's how we have the solution problem. And who am I, right? I belong to a group of people called a niche. So we really understand it by kind of working backwards from the equation. And look, guys, you're not going to sit also. The other mistake that I see people making all the time is, they think that they can go out, they identify a niche, and then they go and they sit somewhere in a park, on a park bench, with a pen and a paper, and they start brainstorming all the different things that they think, their niche is experiencing. It's a bit of a better job over there, right? Okay, so they take a pen and a paper and they write down all the different things that could be a problem and how they can solve this problem. And you can really do this, and your answer will be wrong every single time. If you're sitting on a park bench and somebody's sitting across you and they're hungry, it doesn't matter how many times you go through all the different combinations. You can go and try all the different combinations of food, and that person might still not ever buy food from you, right? Never be happy. Why? Because you don't actually know what she's hungry for, right? You know she's hungry, but you don't know what she's hungry for. She could want a milkshake, okay? She could want a smoothie, something like. She could be a vegetarian, but you're giving her meat. So really, the only way that we can know what it is that she really wants, okay, is by going out and asking her, right? So we'll go up to her and we'll ask her, what would you like to eat? And by understanding what it is she would like to eat, we can get on working on the solution. And then that is really how we identify the problem. It's not going to magically pop into your head and you're not going to magically find a solution. It does happen, but it's very, very rare that that happens. So you need to work with this equation thinking that you're not one of those rare individuals, right? The other thing that I can tell you is that when you do find a problem, okay, you have your niche, you go out and you identify a problem. You must study that problem as best as what you can. You must understand the problem that your target market, okay, or your niche, you need to understand the problem better than they understand the problem. And then you need to go and have a look at other people who have provided a solution to that problem, okay? Because there are people, if there's a problem that exists, there's people who have solved that problem. There might not be many people, but there are definitely people who have solved the problem, and you need to study how they've solved this particular problem for your niche. And then you need to go and you need to kind of like analyze and start playing with different combinations of variables, and you need to see how you can provide the best solution, right? And look, guys, you can find a problem that's not so painful, right? And you can solve a small problem for your niche, okay, with a mediocre solution and not get paid a lot of money, right? Because the problem that you're solving doesn't actually matter how good of a solution you have. If you're not solving a big enough problem, you're not going to make enough money. So you need to really go out and identify like a banger of a problem, right? It really, really needs to be a painful problem. And when you provide a solution, you need to provide the best solution to that. And the way that we do that is by studying our competitors or other people who have provided a solution to our niche in the past or previously, okay? And we do it even better than them. And really what we're doing here is we're taking someone, okay, from their current situation to their desired outcome or their dream outcome, right? So we're taking them from point A, okay, all the way to point B, and we're doing that with our solution, right? And really what we're doing from here to here, we are collapsing time frames, right? That's what we're doing. We're collapsing time frames for people. We want to be the best at what we do, okay? And we want to do it better than anyone else and faster than anyone else as well, right? We really, like, that's exactly what people want. People want speed because speed is everything in this universe, right? So in order to take someone from point A to point B, we need to collapse time frames. It's like we're bending space-time. When you take like, a piece of paper and you fold the paper and you stick a pen through it. That's how they explain black holes, right? That's exactly what we're doing. So we're taking someone from here to here and we're busy collapsing the time frame. And that over there, where we're collapsing it, is our solution and what we provide. and we get paid for that. So the better we can do this, the faster we can do this, the more accurately we can do this, is all going to be a determining factor on how much value we bring. And the more value we bring, the more money we make. So this has been a quick video on value and just kind of like breaking down the term for everyone, because a lot of people just talk about it without really explaining it. And I know it's a very confusing subject for a lot of people, but guys, this is really what it is, right? So just to recap, we find our niche. We do this by looking at what it is that we like, okay, and then looking for people like us, and then solving a problem for people like us with a solution and providing value, right? The problem, the merger of the problem and the solution is the value, right? When you have a solution to a problem, and that's what we get paid for. So this has been a quick video on value. I hope it makes sense. Let me know down below what you think, and I will catch you in another video. Till then, bye bye.